Play from left to right across your TV screen. So it's Bulls Live and Proper Sports. Good afternoon to everyone joining us. We're going to have some fun in the sun here at Odsal Stadium. Betfred League 1, round 23. It's a crucial afternoon of action. As we've already said, Bradford hosting Keighley here at Odsal in this BD postcode derby, and up at Derwent Park it is Workington Town against the York City Knights. We'll keep you up to date with all the latest scores, and it will be Bradford who will have first use of the ball 10 metres out from their own try line. It'll be Hallison at dummy half. He'll find Lily to Minchella attacking down that left hand edge, and he's going to be brought down on their own 20 metre line. Quick play the ball as they're going to come back down this right hand edge just to the left of centre field, and Lily will now go in at dummy half as Hallis gets to his feet and plays the ball. Here goes Mikey Wood. Wood will carry the ball 10 shy of the halfway line. This will be the fifth and last tackle for John Keir's side. It's going to be a kick from Lily. No, it won't. The Bulls keeping the ball alive. It's Igodo. Igodo's just lost his foot in there, and he was just about to put a kick on the inside for either Ethan Ryan or Elliot Minchella, who was in centre field. He just lost his foot in there, and it is a zero tackle for the Keighley Cougars. Craig, it's a dry track, the sun's out. Bradford might fancy the chances this afternoon.
Well, I think they've showed on the first play already they're going to play, because they've actually played on the fifth, and I think Toyo could have actually took that himself. He didn't need to do anything. He'd actually cleared the marker. Put a daft grubber in for me, but I can see the intents there. Lily's tried to play on the first chance they've got. If you're playing on your first set, it looks like we're going to see some open rugby today.
Keighley Cougars then, their first spell of possession. A minute and a half gone on the clock. Feather out of dummy half. We'll see Emmett to Lynham. Lynham's going to be brought down just outside the Bradford 20 metre line. Once again, Matt Garside in defence with Jordan Lilly. Back it goes with Emmett to Griffin. Griffin's lost the ball on contact. It's gone backwards, says referee Steve Race. It's picked up by Rawlings. Rawlings will float it to Bailey. Bailey back in centre field with a pass to Emmett. So Keighley keeping the ball alive, and this will be the last tackle. 18 metres out, centre field. Feather will give the ball to Parker. Parker crossfield kick, looking to put Ethan Ryan under pressure. Ethan Ryan's juggled the ball, but it's been knocked on by a Keighley player, and it was Harry Aronson on that far stand side, and it will be a 7 tackle set for the Bradford Bulls, and they will tap the ball on the 20 metre line.
Great set by Keighley there. Very unlucky not to come with Smith there, so let's see how Bradford respond here. I think I want to just get through to Kiki and get some field position in here.
Good afternoon to Mark Barrett. He's watching the game on a 65-inch TV, upscale to 4K. He's making me jealous. Bradford, 5 metres shy of the halfway line. 0-0 here at Odsal Stadium. Just shy of 3 minutes gone as Igodo. He's playing left centre. Ethan Ryan outside him this afternoon. Let's not forget McNally and Gibson, both offering John Keir's side some much needed experience this afternoon. The average age is 24 years and 2 months this afternoon. Last time out it was just a shy over 23 years, so an extra year added on from McNally and Gibson's experience. Crossley with the offload to Hallis. Hallis brought down 25 metres out. First penalty of the afternoon. Hallis pushed in the act of playing the ball, and it was Darryl Griffin with a lot of experience in the game, and he has given away a costly penalty. And John Keir's side, they won't go for 2. They will tap the ball as it goes to Liam Kirk, playing in his 52nd game for the Bradford Bulls. Made his debut back in 2016 against Workington Town as it goes to Keys. Keys through a hole! He's going to glide there on a post! Where was Richie Hawkyard? The try is given. 4-0. The Bulls up and running.
What a great show and go. Yeah, beautiful by Keezy. Got the numbers on the left. Looked like he was going to go around the back. And he's thrown the show and go lead to Bradford. Looking there, Mick, I'm looking at one thing already. Keighley on that right edge. Look short of numbers there. The line speed were bad. It's a good sign for Bradford what's just happened there. And we never took the 2. Bradford never took the 2. And it's paid off. They're definitely going for tries and points today.
And John Keys, we talked about it in the pre-match amble. John Keir's decided that Dane Chisholm, Dalton Grant, they're going to be dropped, rested this afternoon, so it's a huge opportunity for Jordan Lilly and Joe Keys to show what they can do, and Jordan Lilly wasn't involved in that play. It was all the magic of the mercurial Joe Keys.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the halfbacks across the Championship and League One at the moment, these two are probably two of the highlights of it because of their age, to be honest. They both played in Super League and both held their own play in that, so I'm in agreement with Craig. I think Bradford are really going to go for it this afternoon. I can't see there being too much other stuff apart from attack, and I think we've got the ability to put some points on the board today.
Robert Maxford says a great try. Chris Sambuca Dobson also enjoying that. He says boom. It'll be Joe Keys then to attempt the conversion attempt, 15 metres to the left-hand side of the post. That one goes over the red, amber and black dot. And here on Bulls Live at Proper Sport this afternoon from Odsal Stadium in the sunshine, we have had a little over 5 minutes gone on the clock, and it is Bradford Bulls 6, Keighley Cougars 0.
Nice to watch a little combination and all. The two lads, Sam Alice and Jordan Lee, both played at Stanley together since they've been 7 or 8 year old, but I can see there's a little bit of connection already going off there, so I'm really excited to see the half-back and the pivots today.
Keighley, as we said, they must win at all costs this afternoon, currently 9th.
Out. Wow.
Well, just after conceding the first try, after 5 minutes, the last thing you want to do is concede another penalty, and this one out on the full there, so it will give Bradford all the ascendancy and momentum, but just as we were saying that Bradford need to win in case York slip up at Derwent Park, Keighley, 9th in the table, 22 points, 11 wins, 11 defeats. They're just outside the top 5. They need to win their 4 remaining games to have an outside chance of making the playoff party at the end of the season. Referee Steve Race was happy that Igodo's tapped the ball in the correct spot. It'll go Igodo, Lily to Steve Crossley, and Steve Crossley with 3 tries in 2018. He's brought down just 20 metres out as they go on the left-hand side. Matt Garside with a lot of experience with London, and Sheffield keeps the ball alive. The Bulls looking lively in the opening 10 minutes here on Bulls Live and Proper Sport as Sam Hallas is brought down in a big 3-man physical tackle. The referee's not happy. There's some aggression there from the Keighley Cougar defenders, and Steve Race is given 4 quick penalties to the Bradford Bulls inside the opening 10 minutes now, and I think he's going to lay the letter of the law down, Craig.
Of course, yeah. Let's hope he doesn't, like last week, we don't with the game slow down. Let's hope it's at fast pace. Sam's causing a lot of problems around Rook already, Sam Alice, so I think there's going to be a lot of penalties. I've got a feeling it'll be Keighley on the receiving end of them. This is a great set here. Look here. They're going to Mikey Wood's going to lead up here. Look where the fullback was, Mick here. Let's follow the set. I'm looking at McInally here, so they're going to set up to go right maybe, and then he's coming here. He's swinging in.
Steve Crossley will try brute force. He's brought down on top of that Keighley line. 2 tackles gone. The Ramita shy. Hallas in at dummy half finds Lily. Misses out Minchella, but it's gone backwards. That ball's been lost on contact, and it's been recovered there by Billy Gaylor for the Cougars. Referee Steve Race will say first knock on from Jordan Lilly. He'll say the ball loose out of the hands, and it will be scrum head and feed to Keighley on Bulls Live Proper Sport this afternoon. Bradford Bulls leading 6-0 courtesy of a 3rd-minute try to Joe Keys.
Yeah, that was bad by Lily there. All they had to do was actually go through the hands, and I think they're on for a try there. Let's try and get some good ethics put in, because when you get the big games like last week, Mick, you need to put the right stuff when you're playing today. It needs to be done. You can't just start being greedy and selfish. So hopefully John's got them playing to the law here, but there were loads of numbers on the outside there.
Gavin Lane sitting up at midnight here in Sydney, watching on his big telly. He hopes it is another penalty of fun. Annette Holloway, Andrew and Annette watching from Mallorca. We've got people watching in Mexico. Not to mention Mark Lilly, Jordan Lilly's dad. He's enjoying the coverage. They're 6 hours behind in Mexico. So people up at all hours all over the globe enjoying this coverage. The referee has stopped play. On will come the touch judge. And Steve Race is just going to have a quiet word with the Keighley players and make sure that the ball is going to be played in the correct spot. It is Workington Town 0, York City Knights 0. We've had 10 minutes gone at Derwent Park here at Odsal Stadium, 8.5. So they're slightly in front at Derwent Park, but it's 6-0 to the Bradford Bulls after a lively, energetic, infused start. And Keighley now we're going to try and build a little bit of momentum as the ball will go from Parker to Griffin, Darryl Griffin. A lot of experience, former Featherstone, Huddersfield, Wakefield, front row forward, as Crossley and Minchella come in. Keys comes in as the third defender there, bringing down Josh Lynham. They'll kick early in the count from Hawkyard. Hawkyard's kick goes between McNally and Pownall, and this will be scrum, head and feed to the Bradford Bulls. John Keys, what do you make of the opening 10-minute start? We heard from John Keir before the game. He says they've been, they've certainly not going to guard too much against the complacency, but they certainly don't want it creeping back into the game plan for today's game.
Well, I don't think it looks like it, does it? I think Bradford are going for it. I think, as Craig said, apart from Jordan's execution in the last one, I think Bradford has scored again. I think we get what we expect from Keighley, tough, running hard, and I think it's going to be like that for the first 40 minutes. And I would think then that Bradford would pull away. But good exchanges at the moment, but good to see Bradford attacking and going forward.
Well, we were speaking to John Keir earlier on in the week at Tong. He has a lot of experience in the game. He's been involved in numerous derby games over the years, none more so than the Castleford, Wakefield and the Hull derby variety. And when he was talking to me, he said, believe me and you, they do strange things to people, and that's something that both sides will be aware of this afternoon. The form book well and truly out of the window. Keighley and Bradford playing for civic pride. Bradford just inside the Keighley half as it now goes to Lilly from Keys, and Lily's brought down on the last tackle, 5 inside the Keighley half. Keys out of dummy half, he'll kick forward, looking to put pressure. Liam Kirk's onside, the ball's going to bounce backwards, but it's kindly and coolly dealt with there by Cam Leeming over on that right hand edge, and Keighley live to fight another day. 6-0.
Yeah, I still think they could have played on the last a bit more. They didn't have to get that to kick. I thought Jordan had an opportunity to spread it wide then. They had numbers 3 on 2, so I just think they just need to play with their heads up instead of down. But as I say, they got a bit lucky with the bounce, but Keighley have got a nice set of 6 here in not bad ball position to start off the set.
Roy Moran watching from his sick bed in Keighley. He says, come on you Bulls. Tom Butcher, he's also in sunny Mexico. 9 o'clock in the morning there. Here at Odsal Stadium, we've had exactly 10 minutes gone. 6-0 the Bulls lead. Last tackle, says referee Stephen Race, and it will go out from Feather to Parker. Parker once again plays the percentages, drills it between Igodo and Ethan Ryan, and it will be scrum, head and feet to the Bradford Bulls, 12 metres out from their own try line. The latest scores then from Betfred League 1. Any potential shocks? It's still 0-0 at Derwent Park between Workington Town and the York City Knights. Elsewhere it's Hemel 13, Whitehaven 32. It's half time in the All Wales derby. It is the North Wales Crusaders 28, West Wales Raiders 0. It's Doncaster 0, Newcastle 0, Hunslet 0, London Scholars 0, and it's Oldham 10, Coventry Bears 0. Here at Odsal 6-0. Let's see what the Bulls can do here on this attacking set as Keys will find Minchella. Minchella comes towards this right-hand edge and he's brought down by Aronson and Hayes, but he gets the ball out to Gibson on his return to action, and Ashley Gibson's brought down 5 metres inside the Keighley half, and that will be Bradford's 5th penalty in the opening 12 minutes here at Odsal for a cynical flop on Ashley Gibson.
Mick, every time they've spread wide, they've made a clean break, and I just can't work out that again. The Gibbo had an inside option. I think they've just got to play with their heads up, and it's going to be quite simple to go through and get a major score on here. But no selfishness today. Play the stacking up here again left. You've got numbers all over. If they play it, it's literally just going through the hands, and it's a try.
Hallis,
you'll see it here.
Keys,
and again.
Lily.
That's it.
Igodo out to Ryan. Ryan contending with Gabriel on the left-hand edge, and quick play the ball, we'll see Igodo, brute strength, he's got the ball down, Igodo's got the try, Toyo Igodo, will he get the nod? Yes he will! Craig Harrison called it, the Bulls went left, and they've come up with another 4 points, 10 points to 0.
Well, Mick, I'm pleased. I've had Toyo since he was 16, 17-year-old. Brought him down for London to Castleford. It cost him £20,000 in a compensation fee, and I was so glad when he came to Bradford. I thought he'd had something. It's great for his growing up as a player, as a person. He loves the place. His confidence are high. And as last week, I thought Toyo should have been used more last week. Today they've gone to him 3 times early. He'll score some major tries today, I've got a feeling.
And John Keys, you're familiar with Toyo Igodo, also based down at the London Broncos.
Absolutely. I used to drop him off after training 3 nights a week on the 406 to meet his dad. And after away games, it was like at 3 o'clock in the morning. But he's a good kid and from a great family. And since he's come here, I think he's really put his footprint on what's happening here at Bradford. He's a strong lad and great to get that reward there for him.
Toiwa Godo, his second try now in the red, amber and black. He scored against the the North Wales Crusaders in that 48-0 victory. There has been points at Derwent Park. Workington Town 0, York City Knights 2. So James Ford's side currently leading by 2-0. Joe Keys has this conversion attempt over on the far stand side. The sun blazing down in his face. No pressure on Joe Keys. He takes over the kicking this afternoon from Dane Chisholm, who's been rested. Keys, can he strike gold? Across the face. Bulls Live proper sport. 10-0 though, the Bulls lead after early tries from Keys and Igodo.
Spoke to James Ford yesterday, actually, Mick. He thought they'd be 12 points better than Workington, but it's interesting to see there. Looks like they've already took a 2 early in the game, so I think any victory, 2, 3, 4 points will do York today. I think if Bradford continue just letting the ball do the work, play with their eyes up, we're in for a 50-60 scoreline today. Keighley are kicking out to touch at any chance they get a set, so they're trying to conserve energy, so I say just go through the sets, play disciplined rugby and let the ball do the work.
Paul Artist, Craig Michael, Damo Hunter, Dale Morehouse, Tony Knowles, Billy Robinson, Alan Green joining us this afternoon.
I'll just add to that as well, Mick. What's interesting is this afternoon that Bradford are not looking at the short side at the moment. 6 and 7 are playing together in the middle and doubling up.
Johnny Pownall has come up with a rare error for the Bulls. First error in open play this afternoon from the Bradford Bulls. Up to that point, they had 3 clean sets, and that was on the back of that Igodo score. And I think, Craig, when you think about James Ford and the situation with the York City Knights, I think they took a great deal of professionalism with them from Booth and Crescent up there. They actually had an overnight stay.
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it? The game's massive today. I think whatever's going to happen with the league decision on how many teams go up, York can only do what they can do for themselves. So can Bradford. If York get a victory today, like I said, by a point, I'm sure it's well deserved. For me, again, it'll be interesting to see actually how this game untwines here. Keighley have got a nice set of 6. And it'd be interesting if Keighley got to try back, but I think Bradford's line speed looks really good. They're all trusting each other in defence so far. It's another penalty though.
Brandon Rawlins will win Keighley's first penalty of the afternoon. The referee is going to penalise Joe Keys and Elliot Minchella for laying on in the tackle. So, a fresh set of 6 for Craig Lingard's side. As we said, it's the first league meeting between these two sides in over 50 years here at Odsal Stadium. When they met at Cougar Park back in round 2, it was Keighley 6, Bradford 54. Keighley trailed by 10-0 here, and that's Andy Gabriel just juggling with the ball over on the right-hand side. He'll play the ball 5 metres out. Feather in at dummy half. He will fire the ball to forward Bailey. Matt Bailey brought down by Steve Crossley and Liam Kirk in a 2-man tackle. 2 tackles remaining here for the Cougars. Emmett to Griffin. Darryl Griffin trying to powerhouse his way over the line, but he's brought down there once again. Suffocating defence from the Bulls. This is tackle 4 coming up as it goes to Brandon Rawlins. Rawlins is held up, and this will be the last tackle coming up for the Keighley Cougars. They'll have one more set of 6 to defend, and there's been a punch there from Brandon Rawlins. He struck the face of Johnny Pownall, and the referee now will put Keighley on a team warning.
Wow.
Strong referee from Steve
It
Race.
is, Mick, but it's a coach killer as well there on the last play there. They've absolutely bloomed that. I can't believe it. If I'm a coach and that happens to you, it can't get any worse. Bradford are now got a set of 6 in good field position. As I say, shocking by Keighley, that. Absolutely shocking. And by the way, just a quick mention to a friend of mine, Steve Gill, who's took over at Keighley. Fantastic rugby man. Good ethics. I think he'll do a fantastic job. And I promise you I'll come and see you next week, Steve, with some players.
Ashley Gibson brought down on tackle number 2. Hallis to Keys. Keys just took his eye off the ball. The pressure off, and you can see what it means to the Keighley players. We've got another dust up here, Craig. We're inside the opening 18 minutes, and it's certainly a lot of passion out there.
Well, it is, but it's what we said last week, Mick. They've got one chance to come here and spoil the game, slow the ruck down and get it involved in kicking to touch and little bits of trouble here and there. Joe's took his eye off the ball there. He's looking to play out before he's even got it. So they've just got to concentrate, trust the skills, and it'll come.
Halifax 4, Salford 4. There's Shea in the qualifying 8s fixture there. Just want to say a huge congratulations to Toulouse on defeating Widnes yesterday evening by 42 points to 22. I managed to find a stream of the game, and well, we don't want to talk too much about Widnes and Francis Cummins, but oh boy, they are in serious jeopardy of losing their Super League place. Here are Keighley though, trailing 10-0. They're on the team warning, and it's going to be Griffin. Hawkyard, he will fire it there into the second row forward as it now goes to Leeman. Leeman's going to be brought down just a metre shy. Feather goes in at dummy half. He scored a try against the London Scholars. It's a bit of a wayward pass and it's been picked up by the Bulls, but referee Steve Race will now say Steve Crossley has collided with the Keighley scrum half, Billy Gaylor, and it's going to be a penalty to the Cougars.
Another dumb play by Steve there. They'd missed the pass. Feather had put it to the ground. He just had to get near the ball. He's actually shoved it before he got it. Crazy. Keep discipline, Bradford.
Keighley looking for first points this afternoon. Flat pass from Parker. Nearly picked off by Lilly, but it's Lilly and Hallis, the two former Stanley Rangers amateurs, who bring down Parker just inside the Bradford 10-metre line. This will be tackle number 2 as Mike Emick gets to his feet. In front of the post, attacking the Ruley Lane terrace in here as it now goes out towards Johnny Pownall. But Pownall, he raced forward, and Cam Leeming comes up with Keighley's fourth error. And now it's the turn of the Bulls to high-five and embrace each other and pat themselves on the back.
Yeah, I think Bradford just needs to calm down a bit, like Craig said. That knock-on from Keys, for me, is unacceptable skill level, looking at the guy in front of you. And also just some silly things creeping in. Just the first 10 minutes, ran all over them, just playing football. That's all they've got to do here.
Oldham 10, Coventry 6. And it is now Halifax 4, Salford 8. Elsewhere, Featherstone Rovers 6, Lee Centurions 0. Featherstone could only name 15 players this afternoon. Craig, you're looking at me all misty-eyed.
Well, I hope you're going to tell me why, Mick. You're not leaving it there. Why is that?
They've had to release some players due to financial uncertainty.
Right, okay. Wow.
I think it all stems from not making the top 4. Similar situation to Lee.
Right. Just looking here, though, what happens today? Quick scenario. So if Workington can beat York, what's the goal average? Where are we?
Well, York started this afternoon plus 2 points and plus 38 on the points for and against.
Wow. This is going to be some last half an hour today if we need the point, we need the scores. And Workington can pull off a victory here.
Well, as we said, Bradford on 38 points, York on 40. And York's final 3 fixtures, Oldham and Whitehaven at home, 2 sides in the top 6 of the table, but they do have Hempstead away. The Bulls after this afternoon. Next week we're on the road to West Wales and Llanelli and Stebenheath Park before a trip to Whitebank and facing Scott Naylor's Oldham side before the season comes down here against Hemel. And referee Steve Race now will march the Bulls back for descent. So looks like we're going to see a bit of a high penalty count. We've had 10 penalties already inside the opening 20 minutes.
And it's on here. Steve Crossley's got involved here in today. But Ethan Ryan there, for me, didn't even need to do it. He tried to milk the penalty. The referee saw through him. And it's just daft. It's stupid. As I say, I'm looking at, I think I said this last week, Mick, looking for Bradford to have a leader today. Somebody who can calm this down and get everybody in. Crossley's got involved there. He's making it even worse. They need a leader, someone to come out and stick to the game plan.
So the referee, Steve Race, just trying to diffuse the situation. And I think from everybody concerned, the last thing anybody this afternoon wants to see is another repeat spectacle of the niggliness and grubbiness that we saw last time here against Workington Town. That was a penalty fund with 27 penalties, but a chance for Keighley. Bradford will march back 10 for dissent after the original penalty, and it's going to be tapped by Feather. Feather will suck in the defence and he'll give it to Griffin. Daryl Griffin, once upon a time on Bradford's radar, will play the ball 5 metres out, and it's going to go to Emmett. Emmett brought down by Hallison Kirk. 4 tackles remaining. What will Keighley do here? Good spell of pressure as it goes to Rawlins. Rawlins brought down by Keys, who attacks the legs, and that's the 3rd tackle gone as Minchella comes in at the side, and Minchella, his impact on the side of Brandon Rawlins will see Keighley Cougars come up with their 5th error, and the Bull supporters below our gantry position, they're cheering as if that's a try. It remains 10-0.
Yeah, that's shocking skill again by Keighley. They're just hitting lead runners. I can't work this out because they've got Hawkeye, who I really rate. I've always rated him. I think he was a junior at Bradford, Mick, if I'm right. And here he's swinging him round the back, but they're hitting every lead runner. And I don't think they've got through a full set to the kick, so shocking skill level by Keighley there. Let's see Bradford get a full set in here. We are any grubbiness. Here we go again. Something's happened here off the linesman's on.
Yeah, the touch judge.
And he's looking at Elliot Minicello, so it's something again here.
The touch judge has come on, referee Steve Race. Stop the clock. It is Bulls Live Proper Sport. 23 minutes gone here with Mick Gleddle, Craig Harrison and John Keys this afternoon. And it is 10-0 to the Bulls. An early try after 3 minutes from Joe Keys, taking the line on. Great composure to go past both Haynes and Hawkyard. And the referee is going to the back pocket here. To the back pocket. Red card. Sensational scenes here at Odsal Stadium. Well, we're not talking about opening up the sin bin. You can start filling up the bath. Who has his sent off? We'll just wait for confirmation. Is it Daryl Griffin? Well, he's gone to the back pocket. It's a red card. Keighley will be down to 12 men for the remainder of this match, Craig Harrison.
Wow, unbelievable. We're trying to get to know what's happened there. Don't know whether he's threw a punch or he'd said something. But the linesmen were convinced. The Bradford fans are giving him the full salute here. He's moved straight into the changing rooms. Now this is back to what we've just said before. Bradford have got an extra man. Let's get it spread early. Let's get the speedsters on. Gibson and Toyo have already making imprints. Stop this grubbiness. Get through a couple of sets, and Keighley will tire. They're already kicking to touch. They're tired. Bradford, if they don't take advantage of this, Mick, you know, when it's given to another plate now, there's one less player. You've got 50 minutes. Unbelievable.
Well, it isn't Daryl Griffin. We'll try and find out just exactly who has been sent from the field to play. But the referee, Steve Race, is going to say the Keighley player has thrown a punch in the act. And it is Brandon Rawlins. I can confirm he has just turned around and he's gone down the tunnel wearing number 12. So Brandon Rawlins sent off from the field of play, and the 4th official is saying that it was off the field ball. It was an off the field ball, and Brandon Rawlins threw a punch.
Mick, it's a forward pass, by the way. He called it late, but Feather there's coming third man with a right hand and he's clocked him. I've actually got that. This getting a bit spicy now, Mick, and I think it's going to get worse because Keighley's only chance here is to make it into a real dogfest. And one of my lads is coming, and now Brad Nicholson, who actually he'll suit this down to the ground. So Bradford need to keep the discipline 100%. Another good set for Keighley through Bradford error.
So Brandon Rawlins sent from the field of play. The 4th official has confirmed it was for a punch. We were busy tracking the ball in centre field. It's happened off camera, so we've not managed to pick it up, but the 4th official and touch judge all mic'd up this afternoon, and the referee Steve Race, if he has to be applauded because he's took decisive action, and Brandon Rawlins will play no further part. Keighley are doing it tough, but they're still within a shout of the Bulls here as Gayler gives it to Griffin. Griffin quick play the ball. They're coming down this left-hand edge here as it's Leeming. Cameron Leeming wrapped up by Minchella. And Ashley Gibson on his return to action. Last tackle here. It's on the power play. Hawkyard kicks to McNally. McNally brought down a metre inside the field of play. And here at Odsal Stadium, it remains Bulls Live Proper Sports. Bradford Bulls 10, Keighley Cougars 0. And I suspect no one should be really surprised that any cards have been shown this afternoon, because in the previous two games
this
season...
It's on. No, you've got to go out. And again.
Back in centre field to Pownall. Pownall's away, up to halfway.
Numbers left, mate.
Pownall's held in the tackle. He gets to his feet. Hallis now to Lilly.
And again.
Lilly to Garside. Garside's lost the ball, and it's the 0 tackle. Keighley having an excitable end to that passage of play from the Bradford Bulls. But I was just saying, in the 2 meetings between the two sides this season, we've seen 5 yellow cards and 2 red cards. Make that 5 yellows and now 3 red cards. No love lost between these two sides, John Keys.
There isn't. I think Bradford just need to calm down. They haven't completed a set for nearly 15 minutes, and even then when the break was on, for me, we just went the wrong way then when all the numbers were stacked up. We just needed a quick play the ball, but we haven't got any. We need someone to be pretty calm, I think, is what we're looking for. And now here's another. This is turned into like it was the other week. Penalty.
It's still Workington Town 0, York City Knights 2 here at Odsal Stadium. We've got 13 minutes to go to half time, and we've had 13 penalties already. I think we're going to see a penalty from Craig. I know we don't want to see one.
No, it's criminal on Bradford's behalf. And like I said, just said there, we've not finished a set. Well, Bradford have not finished a set. I bet John Key is absolutely devastated watching this, because I'm sure it's here for the taking. But I believe Keighley have had more field position. I think it's actually which is crazy. It's crazy. I tell you what, Mick, I'll throw one in here. Games like this, you find out more about players, the pressure. The pressure's cranked up, and Bradford have come undone a little bit. They just need to play the rugby, play what they see with a little bit of composure. They've got numbers on the right here. He's gone the other way.
Gaylor.
There we go.
Knocks the ball on. Here goes Steve Crossley. Crossley picks the ball up. Crossley, full steam ahead. Is he tackled? He is now. Darryl Gifford comes in. That's the 0 tackle. And Ashley Gibson has dropped the ball on tackle number 1. So the Bulls, the architects of their own downfall. And I think that is what John Keir was saying, trying to guard against complacency. Refocus.
I do think, though, Mick, I'm sure, but composure, but it's a skill level, it's concentration. Again, I'll go back to top players, Mick, love this type of game. And that's why the top players, some of the Bradford players so far, I think that's about the 8th knock-on. And it's, to me, it's been about looking away when the ball's coming. It's this concentration of the skill level. I just think when the pressure's canked up, I've come to the York game, Mick, I came last week, and they've made it a bit spicy now, and they're coming up with errors. It's not good enough.
Ian Overmars says Bulls playing like this, very poor, amateur at times. Agree with Mick, no composure whatsoever. Bob Mayer says, come on the Bulls. Martin Abbey-Person says, Toyo Godo wasted with no ball in hand. So much quality, but the ball not getting to him this afternoon so far. So, Bradford 10, Keighley 0. Nathan Conroy has come on for James Feather, and Keighley down to 12 men, remember, with Brandon Rawlins sent off, are brought down just about on top of the Bradford Bulls line. Let's see what Nathan Conroy can do in at dummy half. He has options to the left, to the right. We won't get there because it's another penalty. Very sloppy, scrappy afternoon here at Odsal Stadium. Steve Crossley, the skipper for the Bulls, just having a word with Steve Race, and he's laying the law down, and the respect works both ways, and the referee certainly trying to coach the players now. We certainly don't want to see any more penalties. Conroy goes over on the right-hand edge. It goes to Parker. Parker brought down there. James Green, Ross Peltier about to come on the field. Referee Steve Race is marching the Bulls back on their own try line as it goes once again with the interchange forward. Brad Nicholson served an 8-game suspension for his part in a fracas between York 8 games ago. Hawkyard along the line, finds Leeming. Leeming's lost the ball. Johnny Pownall coming in there. Forward pass, no advantage. Scrum, head and feet to the Bradford Bulls. And on Bulls Live Proper Sport this afternoon, we've had 30 minutes gone, 10 minutes to go to half-time, and it remains Keys and Igodo, the try-scorers, and Bradford leading by 10 points to 0. Up at Derwent Park, Workington Town 0, York City Knights 6. York have broke Workington's defensive resilience. They lead Workington Town by 6 points to 0.
Yeah, just going back to this game here, mate, I just think Keys and Lily need to step up a bit here and start controlling what's going on. There's a lot of offloading, some silly knock-ons. A great example for me, Crossley could have offloaded the ball there to McNally, had walked under the stick, so we're 60 yards away. But they just need a bit more composure. We don't need to score off every play. What we need to do is get some field position and then we'll score.
George Flanagan on the field, and as we've already said, Liam Kirkhoff, James Green on, and we're going to see James Green touch the ball in this set of 6 we feel, although Matt Garside trying to create something over on the left hand edge, brought down 5 metres shy of the halfway line. Steve Crossley comes off, on comes Ross Peltier, the former Keighley Cougar man. Here goes Jordan Lilly looking for gaps. Lilly brought down there by Griffin getting a little bit physical. Play on, here goes Flanagan probing, attacking Conroy out of dummy half, the hookers union there, brought down, last tackle, Minchella on the power play, looking for options, floats it centre field to Keys, crossfield kick, looking for Igodo and Ryan, Igodo stolen the ball, here goes Ethan Ryan, try number 30 for the season! Beautiful Bradford Bulls!
Make me finish the set. Bradford finished the set. They got to the kick and scored a try. You look on the left edge where Toyo is. This emanate Ethan. The space, the gaps are unbelievable. Whether you go there with hand or whether you go there with kick, just get to the end of the set, show the composure. Crazy.
Well, Ethan Ryan there in perfect position to take the pass, the offload behind the play, the ball from Toyo Igodo, who latched onto that crossfield kick from Joe Keys. And it's got to be said, Craig Harrison, John Key, a huge fan of talking about creating momentum, good ball sets, building pressure, and I think we've just seen that there from the Bulls.
It's a simple game, Mick. We make it very hard. I think if they just get through the sets, roll it, it tells you now that with the extra man that Keighley going to get tired. Keighley, let's be honest, Mick, here, Keighley are on a salary cap of about 60,000. They've lost a lot of the key players. Bradford salary cap's probably 6-7 times more. The qualities on the left, they've just got to use and trust each other and let the pivots do the job. Let the players calm it down, compose you, get to the end of the play.
Joe Keys then 50% this afternoon. He converted the opening try, scored by himself. Couldn't have the extras on from Igodo. Can he add an extra 2 from Ethan Ryan score? Yes, he can. And on Bulls Live Proper Sport this afternoon, Bradford Bulls 16, Keighley Cougars 0, John Keys. Much better.
Yeah, interesting as well. Craig said about leadership there. Earlier, Minchella jumped into dummy half, came short side, saw there was nothing on, and went back to a half-back, and then we've created something. But as me and Craig have been saying off mic, if they complete the sets, they will run some points in here this afternoon.
Well, I was speaking to the players pre-match. You certainly got the feeling that there was a great deal of frustration left over from that defeat to Workington, and the 2-week break due to the Challenge Cup did not really help things. But as we've seen just then, you really do get the feeling the players are energised and they're certainly refocusing and reorganising themselves after a scrappy period of play. We've had 10 to 15 minutes with no points, just the penalties, the errors and the red card to Brandon Rawlings. But the Bulls now, they'll be looking to regain that composure. And Craig's already pointing out the ball should be going left because there's huge spaces as Peltier will play the ball in centre field. George Flanagan caught on the shoulder. The referee says benefit of the doubt, and George, he'll have to show his composure. He's looking for Parker. Lily's going to kick early in the count, looking to invite Igodo and Ryan, but it's taken on the full by Richie Hawkyard. And Richie Hawkyard, once upon a time, 7 appearances for the Bradford Bulls. He'll get to his feet and he'll play the ball. 20 out from halfway. A try at Derwent Park. It's Workington Town 4, York City Knights 6. So Leon Price's side coming back in it. The Bulls might know they can rack up the points.
It's so important to keep the point, the point board going. Surely, if this could be a really last 20 minutes today, could be a season ending for one of them or whatever. Bradford have got a beautiful what they've just done. Jordan kicked a bit early for my liking because they've got numbers on the left edge every time they do it, but a couple of settlers, they look a bit more composed. The last 10 minutes of the halves, Mick, they'll get them. The last 10 minutes of the halves, they'll get them. You'll see 3 or 4 tries being racked up quick.
Last tackle for the Cougars. The kick comes from Gaynor. Knocked on there by Brad Nicholson. It is the free play. Ethan Ryan can't get past Gabriel. The advantage is played, says referee Steve Ray. So that'll be the 0 tackle. Decides to keep his whistle away from his lifts, but now he'll penalise Keighley for being inside the 10. Bradford's 9th penalty in this first half. 35 minutes gone, 5 minutes to half time. Keys, Igodo and Ryan, 3 of the young players here at Odsal Stadium under John Keir, and it will be Igodo. Taps the ball on tackle number 1, 35 metres out. Flanagan in there at dummy half. He's going to look to find Ross Peltier, which he will do. Peltier, big collision there. Ross Peltier, still going is Ross Peltier. He's going to give the Bulls the momentum, the ascendancy and impetus. He's going to give the Bulls their 10th penalty in the first half because the Keighley defenders couldn't bring him down, so they decided to steal the ball.
Keep it quick play. The Keighley guy sat down putting his shoe on. I think George is saying, I'll put it on for you. They've had a little thing. Keep the ball going quick here. They're on the hands and knees of Keighley.
Half time.
It's crazy. Come on.
Half time Hooters just gone at Derwent Park. Workington Town 4, York City Knights 6. I was speaking to Andrew Chalmers about that fixture in the press room before this afternoon's game. He reckons there'll be no more than 2 points in it. It's going to be tight and tense. Up there, it's tight and tense here. The Bulls know that if York were to slip up, they potentially could regain top spot with a big win here against the arch rivals Keighley Cougars. Lilly back to Ross Peltier. Ross Peltier with 8 tries for the season. He's took the Bulls in good field position, 5 metres out underneath the post. Keys, looped pass by Pownall. Well, that was something from the circus. Back to McNally. McNally now to Gibson. Gibson's going to be brought down 15 out in front of the post. So how did Johnny Pownall keep that ball in the field of play? It's going to be George Flanagan once again attacking the Keighley Cougar markers. 4th tackle gone here for the Bulls. The lead 16 points to 0. James Green's gone in at dummy half. A loose pass picked up by Ross Peltier. And Ross Peltier is going to lose a little bit of ground here at Bradford now. 15 metres out. Last tackle. They're going to go with Keys on this right-hand edge. Out to Gibson. Gibson with a kick. It's come off the Keighley defender's legs. The referee will say that Billy Gaylor did not make a play for it. And it will be a turnover of possession. We've got 2 minutes to go to half-time, John.
Well, that's shocking from Keys in that whole set. 2 absolutely dreadful plays, and these are the guys we're expected to control what's going on. To be honest, George could have tipped the ball to Jordan there, the other side of the post, he'd have walked him. We don't need to try too hard here, just go through the processes and the points will come.
Keighley bringing on Kenga, and Kenga's going to be brought down there 20 shy of halfway centre field. Richie Hawkyard wrapped up there by George Flanagan. These two have had some battles over the years as Brad Nicholson somehow gets the ball back to Gaylor, and Billy Gaylor does well to keep on of the ball, and he's wrapped up immediately there by Keys and Minchella. And this will be the last tackle, so Parker will be rushed on the last, straight down the throat of Ethan Ryan, takes that one from the clouds, and Ethan Ryan will assert himself forward, and he's brought down just shy at the halfway line. Can the Bulls get a 4th try before half-time? 90 seconds remaining on the clock here at Odsal Stadium as Ethan Ryan's caught across the shoulder, and he's brought down 8 metres inside Keighley territory. Here goes Keys to Peltier. Peltier with a neat little sidestep. Peltier brought down on the Keighley 30-metre line. Flanagan in there in a dummy half. Finds Lilly. Lilly out wide to Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan inside support. It's going to be one of those spectacular finishes that you see at the circus. Ethan Ryan, try number 31 of the season. His second of the afternoon. And that is a knockout blow for the Cougars because the buzzer about to sound. It's 20 points to 0.
Wow, great try, great pass by Jordan, great take by Ethan. I can't even describe it to you if you're listening to this. Every time they set up and they go left, they've got the numbers. All they're going to do is pick the pass. They're making it so hard for themselves and so difficult for themselves. Each process. John Keir needs to be. John Keir, get him in. I'm sure John will be saying, listen, stick to what the game plan is. You've got 2 or 3 numbers on the left edge every time. That's without McInally swinging in on the backside of that.
Referee Steve Race has stopped the clock. He's speaking to Dan Parker. Something has been said to the touch judge over on the far stand side. He is now just explaining that the match officials will not tolerate any dissent this afternoon, and we have 8 seconds remaining in this first half. Some of the Bull supporters below our gantry position, they were wanting another Keighley player to potentially sit down for 10 minutes or head in the dressing rooms, but it's a much different mood. Those 2 tries in the final 10 minutes of the first half from Ethan Ryan, 10-0 against 12 men Keighley. A lot of questions potentially asked, but 20 points to 0. They've certainly regained the focus, and as we said, that composure at times difficult to maintain when you've got the niggliness, the grubbiness, the big collisions. But Joe Keys, a chance to add on an extra 2 points. The Hooters just sounded. This will be the final act of the first half here at Odsal Stadium on Bulls Live and Proper Sport, and that's going to cross the face of the post. So, half time here at Odsal Stadium. Tries from Keys, Igodo, a brace from Ethan Ryan, Keys 2 from 4 attempts, Brandon Rawlins sent from the field. It's all happening, Craig. Got to win their remaining fixtures, but as we said, defeats against London Scholars, Workington Town, Hunslet and Coventry in their last 5 outings have severely hampered their ability to potentially break past Newcastle, Whitehaven, Hunslet, Oldham and Doncaster ahead of them.
Great carry again by Kenga there. Actually, that's 2 or 3 times he's made a great carry. Made a bit of an impact. Bradford need a good start here. Let's see what happens on these first couple of sets, Mick. I think Bradford just need to compose this then and let it happen. I'm serious here. If Bradford don't get 60 points here, I'll be utterly disappointed.
Well, there's been an early try at the start of the second half at Derwent Park, and it is now Workington Town 8, York City Knights 6. Elliot Miller has crossed for his second try of the afternoon, and Bradford will concede a penalty here because Greg McNally has body checked Dan Parker off the ball. So we're going to see quite a few penalties, we feel, this afternoon, but it is Workington Town 8, York City Knights 6. Let's see what Keighley Cougars can do here. Nathan Conroy calling for the ball. They know a try early in the second half will give them some much needed confidence and momentum. They've had a lot of pressure, a lot of possession deep inside the Bradford half. They've just not been able to convert that pressure into points. Lynham on tackle number 1. Conroy now gives it to Parker. Parker gives it to Kenga. Kenga brought down there by Peltier on tackle number 2. Also coming in there on the top was Mikey Ward. It's a quick play of the ball. They're going to go on that left-hand edge, and it will be Billy Gaylor trying to drop the shoulder, trying to pirouette his way past Minchella and Flanagan. And Keighley will cross the line, but they're held up. Great defence there from Jordan Lilly, I do believe, and James Green. They come in, they wrapped him up, and they just kept the Keighley forward, Scott Law, from grounding the ball. Back they're going to come down the left-hand edge. This will be the last tackle. It's 20 points to 0. The Cougars trail. Conroy going on the short side play. Kick comes in from Gala. Picked up there by Leeming. Leeming can't get there. Good, solid defensive resilience from the Bulls.
That's one of the positives of today, Mick. I think they've all kept in defence. They've definitely kept the composure. They hadn't jumped out at line. That was a great set in defence. Here's an interesting one. Let's see what they're like in the first set. Try and get a bit of field position here. Again, if you look, Mick, I even think if they shifted it early, it'd be on every time. It's crazy.
Johnny Pownall out of dummy half, attacking the markers. Brought down 10 metres out from his own try line. Let us know in the comments where you're watching the game from this afternoon. Richard Ward, can Mick, Craig and John stop making the predictions? The last time we made predictions, Workington Town beat the Bradford Bulls. Flanagan's now up to the Bradford 40. Sloppy play the ball, but it's a penalty because Scott Law laid in all over the top, and that will be Bradford's 11th penalty and the first of the second half. So it's Bulls Live, proper sport. Both coaches, John Keir and Craig Lingard, they're planning and building for 2019 and beyond. The Bulls have signed Jake Webster, James Green, and other players will be coming through the door in the coming weeks. For the Cougars, Harvey Hallis and Alfie Steely have both signed. Here goes James Green towards the line. Toyo Igodo has dived on the loose ball, and we've just seen a player who's going to be at Odsal at the Bradford Bulls in 2019. James Green, Craig, that was a big, strong stride.
That's probably the best carry of the game. I think it's a 60-metre carry, and he actually had the ball in one hand, just looking for anybody to push up next to him. McAnally missed, and Toyo come late on that one, but again, just need a little bit of composure. I can't keep saying it, I sound like I'm repeating myself, but it's so frustrating to actually commentate here when you're looking at where we are. You can see so much space on each side. They seem to pick the wrong option every time. George, a couple of times there, went down the middle when I think if you just let the ball do the work, it's simple. Good on Keighley, though, still making it a game, actually, so big rap for Keighley.
20 points to 0. The score remains here at Odsal Stadium. As we said, Keighley Cougars just looking to move the ball out from dummy half. It will be Leeming to his feet. Conroy in at dummy half to Hawkyard. Hawkyard fires the ball into the palm of Lynham, and it's a forward pass there from Lynham back to Hawkyard, and Keighley have just undone all the hard work they did there in that defensive effort to stop James Green, and the pressure now back on them with Bradford having the ball 20 metres out from the Keighley try line. And certainly Keighley Cougars, they crashed to a disappointing 20 points to 6 defeat at the London Scholars last Friday, but Craig Lingard, he did admit to mitigating factors, having only 16 fit players available, and as Craig said, Brad Nicholson makes a return to action this afternoon coming off the bench, so they are able to name a full complement of 17 for this afternoon's fixture. Bradford looking for first points at the start of this second half. We've had 45 minutes gone, 35 remain. Flanagan marshalling the Bulls forwards in there at dummy half, and he's going to fire it into the belly of Ross Peltier. Ross Peltier twisting and turning. He's got the ball down, but he's held up. Richie Hawkyard will put his body on the line. The Bulls will go back to the 10. It remains 20 points to 0 in favour of John Keir's side here on Bulls Live and Proper Sport this afternoon. Flanagan fires it to Lilly. Lilly in centre field, looking at options. Links with Keys. Keys to McNally on the right-hand edge. Here goes Ashley Gibson. Gibson's brought down 2 metres out. 5 metres in from the far stand side. McNally in at dummy half. Back to Keys, to Green. Green to Lilly. Lilly looks for the support. Finds it from Mikey Wood. It's come off Scott Law's left arm, and that will be back to 1. Scott Law made a play for the ball. So the Bulls, another fresh set of 6. George Flanagan's over the line. He's got it down. He's on 99 tries for his career. One more, and he's got the ton. He'll punch the ball. It'll hit the crossbar. It'll come down and hit him on the head. George Flanagan won't care because it's 24 points to 0.
For me, I just think the last 4 or 5 tackles, they just played with a bit of urgency there, and just George spotted someone and went for it, but on the previous great carry there from James Green, it was good, but it was the third tackle and then we've ended up throwing the ball away again. I'd love to know what the completion rate is after like 50 minutes, but I just think there just needs a bit more urgency from Bradford. You know, it's great to get an early score second half, but we need to cut all the errors out and just focus on doing what they've been asked to do.
A fifth try then of the afternoon for the Bradford Bulls. Keys will attempt the conversion attempt in front of the post, and George Flanagan certainly enjoying his time here at his hometown club in 2018. That is now his 12th try of the season, and as we said, he is now on 99 career tries. He's been begging me all throughout the season to let him know when he gets to the 100, and I'm certainly sure I will do. But on Bulls Live Proper Sport here at Odsall, as Joe Keys converts from in front, Bradford Bulls 26, Keighley Cougars 0. The 12 men of Keighley Cougars. Brandon Rawlins sent off in the first half.
George did what George does best there. He gets close to the line, throws the dummy, goes up for the try. He's done that for about 10 years now. Again, get through the set, get to where we're dangerous. And a little interesting one there is that they played out right. If they come back left, if they can shift it early in a couple of plays in good ball, Keith will get so tired they'll create the space it's in. And what you're doing is you're taking all the sapping all the energy for the last 20 minutes. So just shift the ball, and trust your skills.
Keighley will get the ball back from the restart. Great kick there from Dan Parker. That one will bounce over Johnny Pornell and Ashley Gibson's heads, and they will have the ball back from the scrum. Bradford's 7th error of this match thus far. While the scrum's being formed, it's not been formally announced, but certainly a lot of people know about it, that the EGM has been called for Friday the 14th of September. That is when the new league structure proposals will be put to a vote. Time really is of the essence, and I'm sure throughout this afternoon we'll focus a little bit on that, but we'll just call this Keighley Cougars attack here. They're looking for first points. Conroy once again looking for options. He had Kenga to the left, and Kenga will carry it towards Keys and Minchella, and that is the second tackle of this fresh set of 6 here for the Cougars. Gala to Parker. Parker has lost the ball. It's gone backwards. That's come off Ethan Ryan's hand. Scrum head and feet to Keighley here. Touched Ethan Ryan. And more pressure here for the Bradford Bulls to absorb. But Craig, just quickly, the EGM, it's been called for Friday the 14th of September. It's not ideal. It should have been 28 days. They passed a special resolution. It's been brought forward 14. Time really is of the essence, because if it's not sorted by Friday the 14th, Bradford are hosting Oldham that weekend, and then you've really got one round to go, and you could have a situation whereby the proposals aren't yet sorted and you're having to pull sides out of the playoffs.
On that, Mick, usually when there's enough smoke, I think they're looking to push this through. You've got to feel sorry for the teams, like, say, if York do win and they've done it by being the best team, you know, how will that make people feel? I'm sure the Bradford fans will be absolutely overjoyed if they finish second, but the word on the street is, Mick, they're looking to push it through, so it could be unbelievable. But I suppose John don't want to hear that, just wants to keep on doing what he's doing with his team and see if they can win this win the title by going up as the first, not as by default for me.
It is now Working to Town 8, York City Knights 12, so James Ford's side have hit back. Connor Robinson with a try there. So 4 points the gap at Derwent Park. Elsewhere at the Shea, it is now Halifax 4, Salford 36, and it's Doncaster 24, Newcastle Thunder 9, and Oldham putting the cleaners through. Coventry Bears by 40 points to 6.
Clear.
Here come the Bulls. It's Keys on that right-hand edge. He's got Hawkyard in pursuit. Unselfish pass on the inside. And it is going to be Elliot Minchella around and underneath the sticks. And Elliot Minchella now has try number 29 of the season in all competitions.
Beautiful play by Keysy there. He actually looked like he would have played out. He's gone straight through the gap. It could have definitely scored that he's sent. Elliot should be thanking him there. I thought that was very unselfish play and great running. Look at the spaces on the edges. Keep going to the edges and they'll find a field. In the last 20 minutes, they should put the most scores on. It should be 30-40 in the last 20 minutes. Punch the holes, speed the ruck and get it on the edges.
Someone's just said here actually that Keys passed that ball inside so we can get the conversion, so there might be a bit of truth in that as well.
But great play there, Joe Keys. He realised the Keighley defence. There was just a little half opening, and he was gone. And Bradford have certainly started this second half. We've had 13 minutes gone, 2 quick-fire tries from Flanagan and Minchella, but the players in the second half really starting the second half with the right attitude, and certainly a display that is lifting the game as Joe Keys will attempt the conversion from in front.
That's the first time I've seen John Keir smile there, Mick. He's actually put the cue a little bit on the rack, a bit of a smile, a bit of a head rub for somebody. So he liked that bit of play. Hopefully that's what they talked about, but it's first time JK smiled all game. And I think he's doing a little dance down there, Mick.
Joe Keys. This his 6th conversion attempt. And his 4th successful 2-pointer. So Bulls Life Proper Sport. Bradford Bulls 32, Keighley Cougars 0. And at Derwent Park, it has gone from bad to worse for the Bradford Bulls, because York City Knights have gone in for another try. And it's this time it is Joe Batchelor. So it's Workington Town 8, York City Knights 18. But our focus is going to be firmly here at Odsall and on this Bradford Bulls performance. And certainly a natural uplift, more refreshing, Craig.
Fantastic, yeah, let's say a bit of thing, like I say, a bit of composure, get some good field position, split it to the edges. Oh no, not again. Oh my God. I think McInally's so green to leave it there, he's telling him what, crazy. That's the last 2 kickoffs where they've just give it straight back. If Keighley had had full team here, these mistakes could have been very costly. So looking for Bradford, I think that Rawlings, it's through the right hand, and that's what's happened.
Well, Dan Parker's restart there. It looked to be going out on the full, but it's just caught the wind, and McNally told James Green to leave it, and certainly misjudged the bounce of the ball. So the first goal line dropout of the afternoon that Keighley or the Bulls have forced, and it will see Scott Law move the ball down the middle channel, and Green and Flanagan in defence. Here goes Kenga taking a short pass from the ruck there from Nathan Conroy. They're keeping it short and compact here, Keighley, as they're now moving on the left-hand edge to Nicholson. Nicholson's brought down, 15 out. 3 solid drives here from Keighley, looking for options, and great tackle there out of dummy half as James Green will wrap up Nathan Conroy. Here goes Parker. Parker will fire the ball to Griffin. Darryl Griffin's brought down by Lilly. Also Keys and Hallis on this right-hand edge. It is the last tackle, 5 metres out. Parker, a grubber kick behind the line, too much on it, tap on the 20 for the Bradford Bulls, and it is a 7-tackle set, but the referee will say it has touched a Bradford leg. I didn't see anything, but the referee's a lot closer, Craig.
Yeah, I didn't see anything there, but he's give it, so another set to defend here. Good set by Keighley, good finish. Griffin and Kenya look like they're actually starting to make a lot of yards, and it's hard with a man less, so big up for them too. And again, for Keighley keeping the composure and trying to make a game, and this could have easily spiralled into a big score, but they're keeping at it. And I say that from the mistake from the kickoff, they managed some more field position. Mick's looking down at the score here, I think. Is anything happening, Mick?
No, Mickey Marshall just says watching from Paignton, Devon, come on the Cougars. There's quite a few comments arguing both ways regarding the new league structure and the proposals on the table. Are you free on Thursday, Craig?
There's rumours we're free on Thursday and a couple of special guests to the studio at Proper Sport, so I hope Zach Hardacre and Luke Gale are listening to me, because the boss says Thursday, the boss it is. Thursday it is.
Well, keep your eyes on Proper Sports social media channels. There might be some excitement on the way, but certainly here at Odsall Stadium, Keighley, to the credit, they've not waved the white flag, they've not given up, and they're certainly giving their supporters who have travelled across the A650 from Keighley into Bradford this afternoon plenty to cheer as Kenga gets a quick play of the ball in along the line to Hawkyard. Hawkyard beats Igodo, beats Hallis, runs behind Conroy. Hawkyard towards the post. Hawkyard brought down by Green and Hallis in a 2-man tackle. Hawkyard tried to get a quick play the ball in underneath the post. Conroy to Kenga. Kenga's come up with an error, picked up by Gibson, 0 tackle for the Bulls, no advantage, they've knocked on the 10, scrum head and feed here to the Bulls, 10 metres out. Bulls Live Proper Sport, it is Bradford Bulls 32, Keighley Cougars 0, and it is still Workington Town 8, York City Knights 18. Elsewhere, it is still Featherstone 16, Leeson Cherians 0, and Salford really putting the cleaners now on Halifax. They lead Richard Marshall's side by 42 points to 0. So what does that mean for the standings? It'll mean Salford will be top on 6 points. Halifax and Widnes will be both without any points whatsoever. And Widnes, as we said, their next game is a home game against the Leeds Rhinos, a crucial fixture as Francis Cummins and the Widnes Vikings battle for Super League survival. Brandon Pickersgill's just come on the field. He'll play the ball on tackle number 1. It'll go from Flanagan to Green. Good leg drive, good momentum here from the Bulls as Flanagan goes down the middle, past Scott Law, can't get past Darryl Griffin, and he's wrapped up on his back, 5 metres shy of the halfway line in centre field. Appealing for a penalty, non forthcoming. Pickersgill now to Peltier. Peltier attacking Brad Nicholson. Big physical impact on that right-hand edge. The sun peeping behind the clouds here. Peltier plays the ball 5 metres inside the Keighley half, and that'll be the last tackle here for the Bradford Bulls as George Flanagan attacked Cameron Leeming, trying to appeal for the penalty, non forthcoming. Keys on the last, looking to put the winger Gabriel under pressure, and Toyo Igodo drags him down like a ragdoll.
Little one there, Mick George has wasted 2 plays there for me. He's gone on his own twice. When again, just let the ball do the work. The halfback should be commanding that off George. He can't be letting that happen. It's crazy. He's picked 2 options to go himself there. When he's got numbers on short side, 3 on 2, and he's got 3 numbers out here, it's criminal. Keys is there to put a kick in, and they've got field position again. So, and one on Toyo, Mick. I think Castleford's big thing with T is in playing with extreme playing at the top of his game throughout the full 80 minutes. And I've watched today, you've seen sporadical things at T. It looks fantastic, but he's clocking off. His work rate needs to be right through the 80 minutes.
22 minutes remaining here at Odsal Stadium. Fast approaching the hour mark as Dan Parker sends one downtown, down the throat of Brandon Pickersgill. He will absorb the ball. Centre field to Pownall. Johnny Pownall trying to break clear but can't get past Gaylor. Gaylor wraps him up there. So too Conroy in a 2-man tackle. Keys in at dummy half to Pickersgill. Pickersgill looking for options, and he decides to take a 3-man tackle. 15 out from halfway. Flanagan back in his customary position. Gives it to Hallis. Sam Hallis with a big don't argue. Get out of the way. And Hallis gets the Bulls 10 valuable metres forward. And Flanagan now out to Keys. They're going to go over on the right. It's a rare attacking raid on that channel, and it's Elliot Minchella who's ragged down to the floor. Josh Lynham over on that right edge. He'll get to his feet and he'll play the ball on tackle number 4. Keys down the right of centre field, and that'll be the last tackle. Flanagan now in a dummy half. Back to Lily. Lily on the last.
5 numbers here, Mick, out wide. There's 5
crossfield kick. Looking for Ethan Ryan. Oh, backwards! Wow! We talk about the circus act. That was like the magnetism, and the try's given. 36 points to 0. Working in perfect tandem, Ethan Ryan, Toyo Igodo. That is going to get John Keir thinking.
Here's Mick again. They're just, every time they've come wide, they've scored a try. They're still trying to make it difficult for the Sens, but well done, Ethan, for a great leap in the air, and Toyo for backing it up. Again, I just can't work it out. I don't know what the plan is when they're trying to go through the middle, Get your drive off, get the ball out wide, and it's all day long. Bradford walking back here. Keighley look absolutely tired on the feet. Big 20 minutes. If the York and Workington game suddenly swaps, this is a big 20 minutes to put a big score on.
And John Keys, we've just seen there the effectiveness of Keys going on the right-hand edge, Lily's controlling the left. He realised that Andy Gabriel and Cam Leeming, especially Leeming, out of position because he'd had to race across and make the tackle on Elliot Minchella, so there was just poor Andy Gabriel there under pressure, and as we said, 2 Bradford players, 1 Keighley Cougar. It was simple. If Ethan Ryan could palm it back, Igodo's going round underneath the sticks. Well,
it's interesting that Keys and Lily are both attacking with the ball now. I agree with Craig though. I think George needs to start spreading the ball a bit more. They've got 12 blokes and this pitch is huge, so we don't need to run up the middle. All we need to do is to keep passing the ball.
Joe Keys, his 5th successful conversion of the afternoon. Bulls Live Proper Sport here at Odsal Stadium. 2nd place Bradford lead 9th place Keighley by 38 points to 0. 7 tries, a brace to Ethan Ryan and Toyo Gordo. And either side we've seen a try from Keys, Flanagan and Minchella. We've just hit the hour mark here at Odsal Stadium. 19 minutes remain and Keighley trailing by 38 points to 0 at Derwent Park. It is still working to town 8, York City Knights 18. 13 minutes remaining there. Bradford, so far so good in this second half. 3 tries. They did lead 20 points to 0, and we're in a crucial period now, Craig, with 20 minutes remaining, where Keighley, for 40 minutes, they've been down to 12 men. This is perhaps when fatigue and tiredness creeps in.
Yeah, it's just been sensible, Mick, really, isn't it? If you played the full game with a man less. Again, 3 lovely drives here. Let's see George get it out. Look at the numbers on the left. You've got a 5v2 and 3 passes. They shouldn't be making it hard for the bring the full back in there. It's on again.
Lily's pass to Garside. Garside on the inside. George Flanagan will watch this back for years to come. Career try number 100 coming up. Fantastic play from the Bulls. Real cohesion with the passing qualities. It was started by Lily. It's finished off by George Flanagan. The Bulls have hit 40 points. It's 42 points to 0.
We've finally done it, Mick. We've finally got a smile again. If the fullback comes in on the play on the shift, it took the defence of Keighley to look at the fullback and he got through. I keep saying it's on every time, Mick. It's on every time. 3 carries, shifty out wide, back up down the middle.
And what does it mean, John, to a player? 100 career tries, George Flanagan, a great servant of the game.
It's incredible for George, and I think people need to recognise the contribution he's made here at Bradford since he got here just at the start of the season. I think it's great to achieve any milestone, but to score 100 tries is fantastic. Interested now, though, as you were just saying, I think Keighley are exhausted, and Bradford are starting to shift the ball, which did there. There was a break, Jordan offload to Garside. And then he's put George back on the inside. That's twice actually now that blokes have broke through and put the ball back on the inside for someone to score an easy try. So that's real good awareness. But I fancy Bradford for a few more points now, to be honest.
Joe Keys from in front of the post. This to take the Bulls out to 44 points, which he does. Bulls Live Proper Sport, 44 points to 0. Igordo with a brace. Ryan with a brace. And now George Flanagan. We might see a hat-trick yet this afternoon. And the clock says 17 minutes remain.
On George, you know, Mick, I've watched George for a lot of years, from Dewsbury to Featherstone, and that's what he's very good at. He's very good at the quick play of the ball and playing behind it. Get one thing straight, score 100 tries. You must have pushed through a lot of plays like he did then. A hell of a lot of time. The best I've got is Danny Maguire at that, and I once said to Danny, I think Danny made 20 pushes a game to score 2 tries. George pushes nearly on every play around the ruck. This is things you don't see at home, but if you're watching it and watch him close, every time there's an half break, George is charging down the middle, hoping that he gets on the off chance somebody puts it inside.
Liam Kirk on tackle number 2. A bit of a scuffer there. Liam Kirk saying he played the ball backwards. Referee will say he has lost the ball on the ground. So Keighley presented with an opportunity after 2 quick-fire tries from Igordo and Flanagan. And it is now Workington Town 14, the York City Knights 18. It is going to be a grandstand finish up there at Derwent Park. So to complement the Elliot Mellor try, Fui Moi Moi's got on the scoring act. So there were villains last time out here at Odsal. Could there be heroes this afternoon?
Well, I've just heard off Proper Sports executive producer Mick. We might be going over straight to Derwent Park now to watch Workington and York in the last 20. Hopefully we'll get back to you on that.
Keighley Cougars looking for their first points. James Feather back out there for the final 15 minutes. Here goes Mike Emmett. A lot of experience in the game brought down there by Steve Crossley and Liam Kirk. George Flanagan tackling his heart out. He will surely be a contender for the man of the match this afternoon. As Hawkyard kick through, looking for Gabriel. Ethan Ryan, safety first, palms the ball dead. Great defensive awareness there from Ethan Ryan. He realised that Andy Gabriel was bearing down on him. He could hear the breath, and he palmed it over the dead ball line, and it remains 44 points to 0.
Well, it just raised an interesting point here, and it's something I've always thought about dropouts. The ball goes dead, and the team that have the dropout throw the ball around, while the opposition are still walking back to where they need to be. If you're watching rugby union, they always try and do things really quickly, don't they, where they throw the ball around. So if you're kicking that ball and the lads have got their back to you, is that an advantage to the team that are dropping out? It's just a thought, that people don't do it, do they? They try and take a breather, but Bradford have already defended one set, in the last 4 or 5 minutes, so I'd be interested to see somebody to try that.
John Keir now in the final 15 minutes. He'll be hoping the Bulls can keep the 0 on the scoreboard, and it'll be their 5th shutout of the season should that occur. But Keighley, they're certainly throwing everything at the Bradford Bulls in the closing minutes here at Odsal Stadium, and Leeming about to be taken over the far stand touchline before the referee called held, and Johnny Pownall and Brandon Pickersgill had to release him. It's going to go from Gaylor to Nicholson. Big Brad Nicholson carrying the ball in down that left hand edge, 10 metres in from the far stand side. They're going to go from James Feather out of dummy half. He would certainly love to score a try against the Bradford Bulls, and Bradford's defensive resilience has stood firm. They're on the last tackle, 10 metres out. Keighley to Parker. Parker will kick, looking for Gabriel. Ethan Ryan takes it there, looks for the support of Igodo, finds Toyo Igodo. Igodo has the ball, it goes to Pickersgill. Pickersgill caught high, but the referee will say forward pass between Igodo and Pickersgill. I guess the error negates the penalty.
Look, Toyo got that there, and I'll say again, to play at the top level, you've got to play on it all the time, and T's just done it there. He's got a ball inside there, and he's put a forward pass in. All T had to do was carry the ball. Carry hard, carry fast. It's a simple job, and there he's done it again, and that's the thing that he's come here to learn, is to play on it for 80 minutes and concentrate and play at top level, at top speed. T a couple of times, he's just doing it's a bit sedative for me. And Keighley have got another set in a good field position. As I say, it could have been a lot different this game. Bradford's defence has been very good so far, to be fair, so they've kept it tight, but I don't know if that's 11-12 on the penalty count. It's quite high, I think.
It's still Workington Town 14, York City Knights 18, and I think everybody, as we said, an air of expectation at Odsal Derwent Park. Everyone will be looking at each other's scores, and as we said, final 10 minutes here at Odsal, 10 minutes remaining or thereabouts at Derwent Park. Conroy, Feather towards Bailey. Bailey's brought down in a 3-man tackle. Feather looking for options at dummy half. He's going to find Parker. Lilly moves forward, sort of evades Parker as it goes now through McNally and Garside, and Flanagan in the 3-man tackle. Towards Darryl Griffin. Griffin wrapped up. Good stern defence from the Bradford Bulls. They want to keep another shutout in the Betfred League One this afternoon. Mike Emmett loses his game plan and structure, and he just goes down the throat of Kirk and Crossley. It is the last tackle. That has hit Igodo in the face. That wasn't played at. It's still the last tackle. Hawkyard has it 20 metres out. Kick to the corner. Who's there to avert the danger? The Bulls have got the ball with Ethan Ryan, but it's a knock on. Well, referee Steve Race will say Igodo's tapped it, and Ethan Ryan's in an offside position.
Yeah, it's a funny turn of events there, Rick. I don't know what the ref's going to give the penalty. Keighley get another set. The game's gone a bit quiet there. It's gone a bit low. I was hoping that Bradford could keep the tempo going, keep it playing at an high tempo, and put 20-30 points in the last 15 minutes. But this is all slowing the game down again. And if the result goes the other way, and I think we're hearing things now. Wow, could they regret this, not putting a big score here on Keighley? Could they regret it?
Well, the latest score from Derwent Park is still Workington 14, York City Knights 18. Should Workington Town come from behind and take 2 crucial points in their playoff race. Bradford Bulls currently plus 44 points to 0 here at Odsal. The Bulls would be back at the summit of League One. So A real tense final 10 minutes here at Odsal and Derwent Park this afternoon. Bradford leading by 44 points to 0, but Keighley not giving in. And they've lost the ball 10 metres out, and that is great defence from Johnny Pownall. Sam Hallis thinks he's away, but the referee will say double knock on, and we'll go back to the scrum. So I think, Craig, you've got to talk about a natural uplifting performance after that defeat against Workington. I think we've certainly seen it this afternoon in the defensive sides.
Yeah, very good in defence, Mick. I don't, could have done a lot better with the ball. Listen, next year, if Bradford do go up, I studied the championship a lot, Mick. They've got to be a lot more consistent with the ball. They've got to be a lot more. They can't be 11, 15, 11, 12, 13 knock-ons a game and penalties. They've no chance. They've no chance. So looking at what I'm seeing, and I think it happens in this competition a lot, you're playing 3 or 4, 5 teams that we're not giving you a game, and then you're going to raise your games to play the Yorks and the Workingtons, and when you get in that pressure game, you maybe not know what to do. Next year, they'll play 10, 12, 15 pressure games. And if I were John, and I said this earlier on, Mick, if I'm recruiting for next year, I'm looking at body language, I'm looking who can handle the pressure. And I think that there's going to be some massive changes at Bradford. And if I were a player today, I'd be playing as hard and tough as I can to impress the coaching staff.
I was at a recent game for Proper Sport, Featherstone against Halifax, and let me tell you, that was 80 minutes of blood and thunder. And I think John Keighley is fully aware of the potential challenges and pitfalls of moving up the divisions.
Yeah, but also the game's gone, but there's a knock-on. If I was the coach, I'd want my blokes running into that, because at the moment points are a premium here in this race with York. But we're not. We're walking and we're waiting. I just want to see a bit more go forward in people and a bit of, a bit of positivity. It's all sort of a bit laboured, regardless of the score. They need to get another 18 points here, Bradford, and it's easy within their reach with the skill they've got on the field.
Doncaster 28, Newcastle Thunder 21. The comeback is on at the Keepmoat. Is the comeback on at Derwent Park? It's still Workington Town 14, York City Knights 18. Here at Odsal Stadium on Bulls Live Proper Sport. Exactly 10 minutes remain. It is Bradford Bulls 44, Keighley Cougars 0. 8 tries from John Keir's side, 4 in each half. And let's not forget, Brandon Rawlins was sent
it's
on
on
the field.
Oh, Jordan, give it. Sorry.
Craig's getting a bit excited, thinking it's on. It might be on, because Feather and Lily, they're getting entangled there, and there's no love lost between those two, as Steve Crossley will carry the Bulls up and over halfway in a three-man tackle. And Hallis now has moved into that dummy half role as George Flanagan takes a well-earned breather. It's going to go to Lily. Here we go again. Third time this afternoon. Richie Hawkard under pressure, takes it, gets past Garside. But Andy Gabriel knocks the ball on. It's the free play. Ethan Ryan will score the easiest try of his career to date. He has the hat trick. He will take the match ball home. It's 48 points to 0. And that was just miscommunication there from Hawkard and Gabriel. Toyo Igodo, it coming of you. It was like the man down the dark alley. You don't want your pockets pinched, you run the other way. He dropped the ball, Ryan picks it up and he puts it down.
Mick Hawkeye actually did the right thing there. He had an overlap. The wingers dropped it. Hawkeye pulled him out for a 2-on-1 and he's dropped it. And it's gone straight into Ethan's hands. Again, just a little thing on Bradford here. I think if you, as an halfback, if you watched Castleford last night, I don't know how many Luke Gale passed. And every time he got it, he sinks in and he passes out. And he makes it look simple. And people say a good player makes the thing look easy and has a lot of time. I think the Bradford halves can look at that and think, we don't have to go ourselves, we don't have to do this. Get the ball shifted out wide. I don't think we need to be kicking on any last play when you've got numbers on edges. It's criminal.
Joe Keys will be presented with the opportunity to take the Bulls out to 50 points this afternoon. 9 tries now from John Keir's side. And as we said, Ethan Ryan, a fortuitous recovery of the ball there. And as we said, probably the easiest try he'll score all season long. He just had to get the ball before Gabriel could regather, and he was around and touching down in this main stand corner. So 48 points to 0. This from Joe Keys to bring up the 50, but it's across the face of the post once again, and it remains 48 points to 0 on Bulls Live Proper Sport. And at Derwent Park, it still remains Workington Town 14, York City Knights 18.
Wow, all to play for Mick. And then we've got, how long we got left, Mick? 10 minutes? I still think we're capable of 2 or 3 tries in that time.
6.5.
6.5 minutes. I think we've still got a couple of tries in us. I think, like John says, the body language, sometimes you want him to up it a little bit, up the tempo, and think let's get 60, 70 points on the board. But hey, should we be talking about a poor performance when you're 50 up against Keighley at home? I don't know. Maybe we've been a bit critical on that.
Keighley have gone for the short restart. It's gone 10 metres. Liam Kirk palms it towards his own try line. Referee says knock on. This is going against the Bulls, you feel, although he's going to say head and feet to Keighley. And just looking at the body language of assistant coach Lee Beattie, he looks a little bit bemused there on the touchline. It appeared from up here, Liam Kirk's facing his own try line, but 9 times out of 10, at all levels, in both continents, you put your hand towards the ball, even if it does appear to go backwards, it's going to get knocked on, although referee Steve Race now explained his decision to Steve Crossley, the captain for the Bradford Bulls, and I think he's as bemused as anyone this afternoon.
Mick, get on with the game. Just get on with the game, get it back in play, and then give it a chance to score a try. Every time it's slowed down, it's negative to Bradford. Keighley, I don't know, I'd love to see the stats on this, but I think Keighley have had most at field position in the game. I think it's probably about a 55-45 split in their favour, which makes Bradford their defence sound fantastic. I don't know, but they seem to have had a lot of field position in the first and second half.
Keighley looking for first points. Their efforts certainly, you would argue, deserve something from this afternoon's fixture, but we've just seen another error now from the Cougars. 2 tackles in to that scrum after Liam Kirk was adjudged to have knocked the ball on, and now it will be scrum in and feed to the Bradford Bulls, John.
I'm a bit stuck for words again because there's 5 minutes to go and could do with another score or two, and we're ambling up to the scrum and ordering our Sunday dinner and seeing what's on BBC One tonight at 9 o'clock. I just think just needs a bit more urgency about the Bulls today. I think, it's been there in fits and starts, but not consistently for me.
Bradford to Pickersgill from Hallers. Pickersgill's brought down. As we said, a lot of positives from this Bradford Bulls performance this afternoon. Bradford awarded their 12th penalty of the afternoon. 21 penalties awarded in total. And if we didn't know it, you can vote for your man of the match now in the comments. So let us know, Bulls Live Proper Sport, who's your man of the match from the coverage this afternoon. We've got 5 minutes remaining exactly. Bradford, they will look for the big 5-0. It's still Workington Town 14, York City Knights 18 in a titanic tussle at Derwent Park. Here at Odsall, it'll be Hallis to Keys to Lille. Lille kicks ahead, looking for McNally. McNally will get the regather, palms it back to Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan to Toyo Igono. Electric rugby league there from the Bradford Bulls. And Jordan Lilly's creativity. He will high-five Greg McNally. It's Igono who puts the ball down eventually. He will have a hat-trick, and that, wow!
Well, a fantastic try. That's 2 or 3 where they've actually opened up. Brilliant, great kick by Jordan. It's been on all day. Fantastic. Get the kick quick, get back, and you've got a chance for another try. The other game's got 3 minutes to play, so if I were Bradford, get the kick quick, try and get another try. John Keel will be happy with that. In rugby league, the defence and the attack are set. The extra man's the fullback on each side. Every time the fullback for Bradford's joined the line, he's created not just 1 number, 2 number because of the 1 man less. If he'd have done that all game, you'd have found you've had 2 numbers in attack on most plays. He did it there perfect. He didn't get the ball, but he caused the defender to look at him, and Jordan's executed a good kick. So fantastic on Bradford, but get the kick, get back to another set, and there's 3 minutes left.
Clinical execution there from Jordan Lilly. And Joe Keys has an opportunity with 3 minutes remaining here at Odsall Stadium to add on an extra 2 points. Jordan Lilly and Toyo Igodo get a round of applause from the supporters on this main stand side. Keys then, just to left hand side of the post, an extra 2 points, 7 conversion attempts from 10 attempts. It is Bulls Live Proper Sport. Mick Gledhill, Craig Harrison, John Keys here at Odsall. Bradford Bulls 54, Keighley Cougars 0, and it is still Workington Town 14, the York City Knights 18. But an eye-catching try nonetheless from the Bulls.
No, great hat-trick for T, young lad from London, down, here in the north. Fantastic time at Bradford. Like I said, it's great for his confidence, and as negotiations go, I'm sure at the end of the year we'll all sit down, Bradford, Cass and myself, and let's see what T does for next year. But I tell you what, I don't think if the way he's playing and the way he's enjoying himself, I think if the offer stopped for Bradford, it won't be far off, let me tell you that.
There we go. Keighley get the ball back from the restart. There's still 2 minutes remaining and a chance for Keighley to restore and leave Odsall with a bit of pride as Parker floats it to Griffin. Griffin brought down there by Igodo. Let us know let us know who the man of the match is in the comments. Ethan Ryan, Toy Igodo getting a lot of praise from the viewing public this afternoon. Kick through from Gaylor. Brandon Pickersgill has lost the ball. It's been picked up by Keighley. Keighley have a try in the corner. The 0 will turn to 4 points, and it is a try to Cameron Leeming. So Keighley restore pride in the final 2 minutes here at Odsall Stadium. 54 points to 4, and it is full time at Derwent Park, and it has finished Workington Town 14, York City Knights 18. We will roll on to week 24 next week. Bradford Bulls away in South West Wales. Oldham, the visitors to Bootham Crescent.
Wow. Well, the York result's in now, so that's bygone. Let's forget about that one. Keighley deserve a try today, Mick. They've played with a man less for nearly 70 minutes. They've not stopped trying. For me, some of the best players on the park have been the 2 or 3 of the Keighley lads have been fantastic. The fullback Hawkeye, Kenga played well when he came on in his stint, and they've never stopped trying, and that takes a lot when you've got a man down at Bradford and you know there's a big score coming. They're not throwing dummies at each other. They've all celebrated together when they scored. That's usually the sign of a good team spirit. They've had some problems this year, but good on Keighley for pulling that and keeping in the game. I don't think John Keir will be happy, but as I say, big up on Keighley.
Aronson from the touchline. It will be the final act of the afternoon. He can't convert, and the full-time score here on Bulls Live at Proper Sport this afternoon is Bradford Bulls 54, Keighley Cougars 4. Craig Harrison, try and summarise what you've seen. 80 minutes in 80 seconds.
For me, job done. The points have been there. If I were JK, would I be happy? Maybe not. I think they bombed a lot of tries. Quick one, Mickey. It must be quite hard, I keep saying this, for players to play a performance high when sometimes the teams and the competition dips into a team that you can put 60 on, and other teams it gets tight. Keighley kept in that. They've had a dig. John Keir will be happy. Don't think he'll be over happy. And for me, there's much to work on. But again, I'll make this once more. The changes and the recruitment for next year needs to be a championship one. If the rules apply and they do go up by win or default, wow, let's hope. I think there'll be a lot of changes myself, but that's my opinion.